come in with a number 4 ranking, and according to Joe Lunardi right now, a number 1 seed. And West Virginia is going to be in the home white as they get handshakes and hugs from their coaching staff. Huge game here today in the Big 12. A full slate of games today, Tim, in the Big 12. All 10 teams playing, and these are the only 2 ranked teams matching up today. And Bob Huggins the other night, win number 300 for him as the West Virginia head coach in their 19-point rally and win in Stillwater against Oklahoma State.
It made that long flight home from Stillwater a lot more enjoyable, not only for Hugs, but his staff, the players. And Hugs is known to carry on through the night long and deep after a loss and hang on to it. And so his players got to enjoy a little bit better meal on the way home. But certainly they played very well down the stretch. Their defense was aggressive, turning over Oklahoma State. And for a round 1 will be the key today for West Virginia to give Derek Culver some space on the interior.
See the starters for Texas. There's a drive by Ramey, and a lay-in from Courtney Ramey starts the game.
Well, their 3 guards are a problem, and Bob Huggins talked about it. He said their experience out on the perimeter and their confidence, their ability to score off the bounce or from the perimeter.
Miles McBride with the dribble. He's their leader, averaging 15 points per game, and has really blossomed here in his sophomore season. Matthews with a drive, dumps it off, but an offensive foul first, as Coleman was there to take the charge.
Well, this is what you have to be aware of, and we saw it last Saturday in Lawrence, Kansas, just smothering every Jayhawk player as they tried to get to the rim. And you've got to have your head up and make the pass a lot sooner, because there will be a second and a third defender attacking the basketball for Texas.
Other news for Texas today, Kamaka Hepa and Royce Ham have made the trip. Here's a lay-in for Andrew Jones, so his first 2 gets him to 992 in his career. Also, Jace Febris is here today. We'll see how many of those 3 get into the game today for Texas.
West Virginia allowing too much dribble penetration, and the help is coming way too late.
Well, if they can get Sean McNeil hot, that's good news for West Virginia. He was a bit cold on the trip to the Sooner State, to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State.
Well, both teams are really going to get out and overplay on the basketball, hard pressure on the ball, and give a lot of help off the bounce.
Jones trying to get past Bridges. Got some help defensively from Culver. And on the run, McNeil, he has to run down the pass, save it. Able to get it to Culver, twisting, turning, and a foul underneath on Texas.
Off the bounce, Andrew Jones, confidence in traffic and able to find some space. The help coming a little bit late. Sims is in the corner. Now Culver's got to step up, leave Sims out there on the wing, and give the early help.
Well, Shaka Smart, season number 6. And when I talk with other Big 12 coaches, what they tell me, and I think they tell you the same thing, Tim, they think this is Shaka's best team in his 6 years.
Well, Hug said that to us this morning, and not only is his best team, his most experienced team. He didn't have all the defections that he's had in the past. He's got rock-solid players in every position, got some good depth, and then the point guard as well, Matt Coleman.
Chance for a 3-point play for Matt Coleman.
Well, clearly you can see Texas' game plan. That time it was a 5-out, and Coleman rejecting a screen. And that is problematic right now for West Virginia. They are just giving layup after layup. And really, you talk about, well, you got to have help. Well, no, you have to guard the ball. The guy guarding the ball has got to get down in a stance and play one-on-one defense, because Texas really has them spread out. And so in that case, you've got to really get down and dirty like you're playing in the driveway, one-on-one.
Well, Texas has hit 3 of their first 4 shots. Only 1 official field goal for West Virginia. That 3 made by McNeil. Here's Culver on Sims. This is going to be a good matchup all day. And he turns, spins, and lays it in.
Well, that's what Hugs told us, Mark. We've got to give Derek Culver some space. They're going to go 4 out around him and try to reverse the ball and have him go one-on-one on the interior before the double comes.
And the lob to Jericho Sims, that was a mainstay of the playbook a week ago today in Kansas when Jericho Sims had a lot of success with that.
Space the floor, dribble drive into the gap, draw a little help, and just throw it up in space. And the big fellow punch it home.
Long shot from Kohler. That's about the extent of his range. Ramey. And this time finds Greg Brown down low for the lob.
Well, you cannot just focus on the ball or your man. You have to have your head on a swivel, and Hugs, not happy, will certainly express that to his club.
All 11 points scored by Texas to begin the game have come in the paint. A 30-second timeout. We're back in a half minute.
The new MyWW Plus is our most holistic weight loss program ever.
You can choose any workout you want to fit with your time frame.
There are a ton of 0-point foods that I love. I never feel restricted.
The new MyWW Plus. Kickstart your weight loss with the WW Triple Play.
Well, Texas has hit 5 of their first 6 from the field, and no question, Tim, here early. They are getting good looks close to the basket.
Well, absolutely. This has been Texas's game plan since the opening tip. Space the floor, set ball screens out on the perimeter, nobody in the paint to start, and then just drive to the rim. And then as you drive, if the help comes, the big man's going to be rolling right to the rim. And so far, Texas looks unstoppable.
Let's see how West Virginia answers after the timeout from Huggins. McNeil's stumbling a bit, but foul on Coleman.
Well, that can be a player's crutch sometimes, Mark, where you say, well, coach, I'm not getting any help. Hugs' response to that will be, well, you got to guard. You got to guard your man. You got to get down and dirty. It's not easy. Defense is not easy, especially against elite players that are going to space the floor and try to take you right to the rim.
Taz Sherman has come in off the bench for West Virginia. Here he is. He had 20 points the other night off the bench at Oklahoma State. Pass over the top. Culver.
Shaka Smart won in 3 seconds, but they were bound and determined to get the ball inside to the big fella, and it worked.
Ramey still dribbling. He drives it all the way to the rim again and scores on McBride.
West Virginia's not even had an opportunity to do some switching because there's no real screens out there. It's just space it, reverse it, and drive. Put your head down and go.
Rod Cunningham now in off the bench. So is Kai Jones for Texas. Matthews runs into Greg Brown and a whistle. So we come to a timeout. West Virginia's hit 3 of 4 from the field, but Texas 6 of their first 7. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get it done.
Did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate, peanut butter cookie dough, scoop, yes.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
A couple of ranked teams going at it. 5-point lead for Texas to get things going in Morgantown. Great to have you with us from our home studios. Mark Neely in the Kansas City area, and my partner Tim Welsh in Rhode Island. Tim, for West Virginia, you got Derek Culver, 5 of their points. He's going to be a key force for West Virginia today.
Well, there's no doubt about it. We spoke to Hugs this morning. He said we have to give Derek space because he's facing a lot of double teams, sometimes triple teams, down in the low box. But he is a well-schooled, well-oiled machine on footwork. He's very good with both hands here. He gets denied on the inside. They're kind of half fronting him here, but drop steps with the footwork, seals his man over the top. Great offensive execution down low.
Here's McBride. That's a 2-point shot. Good for Miles McBride, who has scored in double figures in 10 of the 12 games this year. That's a 3 from Greg Brown off the front rim. It bounces around, almost fell in, but an offensive rebound for Brock Cunningham. He finds a Cutting Brown who misses a second chance opportunity, and then Kai Jones commits a foul.
Both these teams are excellent rebounding teams, and it's not about blocking out and physicality. It's just about going to get the ball, because both these teams are long, athletic, and they just have a great nose for the basketball. And those 50-50 balls that come off from the three-point range are going to be a key today.
Sherman brings it up this time for the Mountaineers. Gabe Osaboyan in the game. Pull up from McBride. Jones able to corral the rebound, but stepped on the baseline. So it's going to stay West Virginia ball.
You know, interesting. Hugs, everyone wanted to talk about Press Virginia being back in order in their comeback against Oklahoma State and the way they came back against Oklahoma as well, but fell a little short. But Hugs just said it's just a matter of making shots. And here you see Culver, the lefty, going with the right on the face-up.
McBride able to keep it going for West Virginia. Was looking for Matthews, but then got picked from behind. Cunningham. And the ball reversal from Coleman, and he throws it over the head of Ramey. Well, coming up later today, a great day of college hoops rolls on. A key SEC matchup, Kentucky and Florida from Gainesville at 5 Eastern. Then Georgetown taking on old Big East rival Syracuse from the Carrier Dome. And finally from Tucson, Arizona, UCLA in a battle of a couple of top teams in the Pac-12. Step back, 3, Taz Sherman. They get this guy going off the bench. He can be difficult for defenders, for opponents.
Well, exactly, and that's what Hugs said. We need to stretch with McBride, McNeil, and also Sherman. So then now we can open up things on the inside for Culver.
Here's a steal. Osaboyan feeding Sherman. Bumped and fouled by Royce Ham, who was in the game. Ham had not played the last couple of games, was inactive. Ham picks up the personal foul.
Well, Gabe Osaboyan, you better not get loose with the ball around him or throw flat passes, because that's what he does. That's why he's in the game. He makes things happen on the defensive end of the floor. That UCLA-Arizona game tonight, Mark. Mick Cronin's team out to a 4-0 start in the Pac-12, and looks like they could be one of the elite out west, along with Oregon, even though they did lose Chris Smith for the year with an ACL injury.
Now, you mentioned the Oklahoma State game the other night, where it looked like Press Virginia had come off the shelf and was back on the floor. And the deflections are a big part of that. You see the numbers where McBride leads the team with 57 deflections. Here's West Virginia on a 7-0 run, get a steal, trying to get it back to Matthews from McBride, but that's offline. Cunningham able to swipe it back for Texas. Now the other way, Jones the reverse. And it's out of bounds to West Virginia.
Well, the thing about West Virginia's defense, it's not a gambling full court pressure like it has been in the past, you know, back when they were Press Virginia. Now it's more of a just extend pressure, do a lot of switching, and play with those 4 guards that are very interchangeable defensively.
Texas has cooled off a little bit after hitting 5 of their first 6 shots. 1 for their last 4, but West Virginia 7-0 run here. Left side 3. Taz Sherman.
Well, again, Mark, you pointed it out, Mark, just the importance of Taz Sherman off the bench as a weapon from 3.
Coleman trying to end this 10-0 run for Texas, but crashing the boards. Greg Brown is fouled. Foul goes on Oseboyan. Now, this is a Texas team, Tim. When they came to Morgantown last year, game that was played on January 20th, Texas lost that game 97-59. They lost by 38 points. 5th worst loss in school history and their worst ever in Big 12 play. One of the few players who wasn't here for that is Greg Brown. He's in his first year, but basically the entire team besides Greg Brown from last year is back this year for Shaka Smart.
Well, and obviously at that point, Texas was spinning in the wrong direction. And one of the best comebacks I've seen in many years is turnarounds in mid-season. And they won 5 in a row coming down the stretch and really looked like a tough out to get if they got in the NCAA tournament, which they probably were going to if it hadn't been canceled. And you know, the thing about Texas, I think they just rolled with that confidence from a year ago. And I think Shaka changed his coaching style a little bit, a little more fiery on the sideline, a little more energy from him, even though he's always been an energetic guy, but just more, even more emotion from himself. He said himself, he says, you know, I think I need to give my team a little more juice during games.
Well, this team started off hot for Shaka, but they do not have a field goal now in their last 6 possessions. They get the ball back, though, after West Virginia's 4th turnover of the game.
Sometimes you have to adjust to playing a team with this type of firepower on the perimeter, and I think early Texas shocked West Virginia about how you're going to have to guard me, and now they're making them take some jumpers.
2-point shot from Greg Brown. 5 points for the freshman.
That's Brown's game. I mean, obviously he can make 3s as well.
Sherman deflected into the arms of Texas and Ramey. Ramey sealed off on the baseline. Long 3, knocked down by Andrew Jones.
Now they're going to the outside to make you hurt, and that time, good ball reversal. Jones was ready to lock and load.
5 points for Andrew Jones, so he's 5 away from 1,000 career points. McBride trying to create some kind of space, but Coleman got into that silo. He picks up his 2nd foul.
Texas started out going right to the rim, but now they're moving the ball quickly on a perimeter. You've got to get out and contest Andrew Jones.
B-Dub's win-win value lineup gives you more with buy one, get one free Wing Tuesdays and Boneless Thursdays. Wing bundles starting at $9.99 and $3 Tall House beers. It's like finding a heads-up penny under a bag of diamonds. Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
Well, last year when Texas came to Morgantown, things did not go well for the Longhorns. The worst loss they ever experienced in Big 12 play. They go down 97-59. That was January 20th of 2020. Game they'd like to forget, but we asked Shaka last night, Tim, about that. Was that a talking point this week with the team? And he's like, yeah, trust me. The guys remember. When you bring back basically your entire team from a year ago and they lose by that big on the road, they're going to remember that.
Well, a lot of pride. We talk about Matt Coleman, Courtney Ramey, just guys that played a lot of games, and they were getting kicked around. And, Shaka, interesting point by him earlier this week. Some of the media asked him, well, what about all the nice things being said about your team? Does it get to their head? Do you talk to them about it just to forget it and don't listen to it? He said, listen, we listen to everything. We had to listen to a lot of bad things said about us a year ago. So, he remembers. Coaches remember, players remember when they're kicked around a lot. And to their credit, they bounced back last year and now carried it into this year.
Five points so far for Andrew Jones. Here's a three from Ramey off the back rim. Long rebound deflected by Brown to keep it alive for Texas. Here's a drive. Missed by Andrew Jones, but a third opportunity. A three from Greg Brown, and finally Culver had it. Then had it knocked away by Cunningham, but it will be a West Virginia ball.
Brock Cunningham is kind of that guy that jack of all trades. What does he do? Well, he does a little bit of everything. He's kind of one of those annoying guys. If you don't pay attention to him, he makes those winning plays out there. He's just a gritty, versatile guy, can guard multiple positions.
It's interesting to watch the rebounding totals today, Tim, because both these teams, rebounding obviously is huge every game, but these are two teams that really hang their hat on it. Sherman steps up. That's a two. Swish.
Just great footwork. Unbelievable. With the pump fake, draw the defender, step underneath. Perfect balance.
Ramey spinning, shooting, and got it to fall.
He's just beside himself on the sideline. They continue, he says, to just give up layups. And Ramey, just great body control and that spin in the lane.
2 points in the paint, heavily favoring Texas. In fact, their first 5 field goals today all came in the paint. That's ill-advised with the length of Sims. That pass. And West Virginia with their 5th turnover.
Well, that was kind of a force down low. He wasn't open. That's where you have to reverse the ball and let Culver get better post position on the weak side.
Greg Brown getting a lot of open looks. Just a little bit long on his 3 there. A slip by McBride. McNeil wants to feed Culver. Here's the matchup today. One of the great ones, Sims and Culver, out for a 3.
That's the thing. Culver is an able and willing passer. He just waited for that double, and it was kind of a soft double. The double never came, but just as he was about to get doubled, he pitched it back out to the open man for the 3.
Jones for 3. Good!
Well, the talent
just 2 points shy of 1,000, by the way, Tim.
Well, the talent's moving forward. You see just a great offensive flow now on both ends.
That one too long. Offensive rebound, Culver. Oh, what a nice move to avoid Sims by Derek Culver.
Well, Texas guards better come down and help a little bit, because you cannot block out Derek Culver with one defender. Now watch Derek Culver. He's kind of the soft double coming. Greg Brown doesn't really double. He just kind of pokes his hand down at the basketball. No rotation on the backside, and McNeil makes him pay. And again, almost impossible to block out with one. You better send that second or third defender down there to put a body on him.
A bucket by Culver. First second chance points today for West Virginia. 7 points for the 6'10 junior.
You cannot double on the box unless everybody is in tune. The weakest link out there is the man on the weak side. If he doesn't know you're trapping, he doesn't rotate over, you're going to leave a man wide open on the perimeter. And Culver is unselfish. He'll find him.
Now, Derek Culver, since the departure of Oscar Tshiebwe from the West Virginia program right around the first of the year, obviously that puts more focus on Culver, and he sees a lot of physical contact like most post players do, Tim, but he certainly sees his fair share, and it's taken a toll on that body.
Well, you and I both know, Mark, he's come a long way since he was a freshman. The talent's always been there, but now the work ethic is there with the focus, the concentration, the commitment to not only winning, but the commitment to working with Bob Huggins on a daily basis to get better. And his freshman year, suspended here and there, not playing, not on time. You ask Hugs, there was a million things going on, but now all he can say is this guy is a winner in the rock of our program.
And he nearly had a 20-20 game the other night in Stillwater. 22 points, 19 rebounds. There's a jumper. Good.
Cade coming in and just taking his time off the bounce. He's had a great year, but still a pesky point guard that can make things happen.
Ramey stopped there. Kedrian Johnson, who's in the game for West Virginia as well. They're going to call a foul. Rick Crawford, baseline official, calling the foul there against West Virginia. Under 8 minutes to play, first half in this top 25 matchup.
There's only one original stuffed crust, and it's only from Pizza Hut. The only place that gives you up to 3 toppings on your original stuffed crust for just $11.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Kevin Connors, Danny Manning in studio. 2 straight losses for Rutgers. Home to Ohio State today, and Dwayne Washington and company are running them.
Dwayne Washington's making shots from behind the line, and he's giving them that energy and juice that they need to pull out a victory.
On the road, up 21. Meantime, 4 Dukies in double figures, 19 for Matthew Hurt, 17 for DJ Stewart. It's the Blue Devils, a 7-point lead over on the ACC network as we head back to Mark and Tim.
KC, Danny, thanks very much. In Morgantown, great matchup. Number 4 Texas, number 14 West Virginia. The Horns got out to a quick 5-point lead, but West Virginia's bounced back with 12 bench points. Texas still without any points from a bench player today. And it's West Virginia up by 4.
I'm just impressed, Mark, early with Kevin Connors' focus in the studio. on college basketball with his Buffalo Bills playing today. So but Kevin
divided
is a team
attention.
guy. He's a team guy. He might poke an eye the other direction a little bit today.
I want to hear Danny Manning at the half talking about Culver and Sims and these great post players. Nobody can coach post players better than Danny Manning. There's a travel. West Virginia's 6th turnover. Sherman's been excellent off the bench. He has 10 points of the 12 bench points for West Virginia. The vast majority belong to Taz Sherman.
Well, Culver's almost impossible to guard one-on-one just because of his ability to power himself, the great footwork, the quickness, the strength, and also the ability to use both hands in traffic.
Quick three. Jalen Bridges rebounded off the floor by Andrew Jones. Out for Cunningham. Quick pass. They have numbers here, and a drive and a stuff by Kai Jones.
The ability of Texas to play fast. You see that in the half court they want to play quick to the rim, but in transition they will space it, kick it ahead with the pass.
Sherman feeding Culver. This time it's Royce Ham on him defensively, who picks up the foul.
Well, as a coach, you always teach your team it's easier and faster to get up the floor without the dribble. And here Texas doesn't do much dribbling, just one all the way to the rack.
One dribble, the passes and the one dribble covered about 80 feet of the floor there. Very nicely done by the Horns. Now tomorrow we have the Ravens-Titans wildcard game at 1 Eastern. 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and ABC. And don't forget, national championship game between Bama and Ohio State on Monday. That is our big lineup for the next 2 days, Sunday and Monday.
We'll have to talk a little football, Mark.
Yeah, we can't
at some point today
let people know our picks for the national championship game.
We won't let it get in the way of this game, but a couple little quick hitters.
Taz Sherman. A dozen first half points off the bench for Bob Huggins.
In transition, and Texas better make an adjustment. I mean, he's beat him in the half court with some good ball fakes, but in transition, they have to find him much earlier.
Jones trying to find some kind of space. It won't fall for him, and then in the scrum underneath, a Texas foul.
Well, off the bench, Taz Sherman, instant offense all day long, and you cannot back away from his little ball fake. You've got to get up in his grill, make him put it on the deck.
Taz Sherman, 4 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 in three-point shooting. 13 points in his 10 minutes. He has really made a big jump. He's a senior, as we see Culver at the line, and he misses the front end of a one-on-one. Ramey. Jones can't get it to fall. Kai Jones blocked by Culver. On the deck, a travel by Kai Jones.
That time Kai Jones was outworking everybody in West Virginia. He just couldn't gather himself in traffic. I mean, this is just work and work. But here comes Culver. Bodies up and protects at the top.
Three left wing, big rainbow, not there that time, but Culver keeps it for West Virginia. McCabe, catch, shoot, three, in and out. Run out by Ramey for Texas. I tell you what, Courtney Ramey, as soon as he gets the ball, Tim, he is a missile up the floor. If you hesitate for a fraction of a second, he's gone.
And he's strong. Look at that body, the shoulders, the long arms, the determination, and he's got that attitude out there that I'm not going to be stopped. And you better slow him down much sooner. He's getting ahead of steam and getting all the way into the lane. And he's got to the rim many times this afternoon.
Kedrian Johnson picked up his second foul for West Virginia. As Ramey a week ago in Lawrence was spectacular. He scored in double figures in 9 of their 10 games. The only game he didn't score, he went 0 for 6 from the field against Oklahoma State. They leave Jones open. Kai Jones, it's off the heel, but a long rebound. He's able to get it himself. Jones, scoop, score. Not sure how he found his way through that traffic 10, but he did.
Yeah, that's good and a good offensive play, but just unacceptable. Go from the right wing to get left wing, get all the way right to the rim.
Reach in. Ooh. We're going to call that an offensive foul on Derek Culver, his first personal.
Culver, as we talked about, has that ability to put the ball on the deck. That time just kind of forcing the issue. Not sure about that one.
Yeah, I didn't see the elbow try to clear any space, which was the reason the foul was called. Cunningham out. Good ball movement. Coleman tried to stop the travel.
Well, better rotation and help. Sooner help. Instead of helping at the rim, they help in the middle of the paint, which got Coleman to stop and turn it over.
5th Texas turnover. So 4-point lead in the ball for the Mountaineers. Just over 4.5 minutes to play, first half in Morgantown. Great matchup in the Big 12. Number 4 Texas, number 14 West Virginia. The Horns come in having won 5 in a row. They're 3-0 in conference play. For Matthews, who touched that last.
Things are getting
That's
a little
Texas
pesky
ball
on the defensive end, and better be strong with the basketball. And Texas, you see, they are going to attack the ball with the 2nd and 3rd defender. So you've got to be ready, have your head up, and the offensive players on the weak side have to slide into an open area.
So West Virginia's turned it over on back-to-back possessions. Gives Texas a chance to get back some of this 4-point deficit. A lot of dribbling from Ramey. That's a 2. Swish.
That's the thing about the 3 guards, Coleman, Ramey, and Jones. They all think they're the best player on the floor. They're unselfish players, but total confidence to do it one-on-one to the rim or with a step back.
Matthews trying to split 2 defenders and adjust his shot over Kai Jones to drop that in. But a quick outlet the other way, and an offensive foul is called on Andrew Jones.
Well, that'll keep Jordan McCabe on the floor. The big fella will like that one.
4-point lead for West Virginia. Exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
B-Dub's win-win value lineup gives you more with buy one, get one free Wing Tuesdays and boneless Thursdays. Wing bundles starting at $9.99 and $3 Tall House beers. It's like finding a heads-up penny under a bag of diamonds. Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
Kevin Connors, Danny Manning. The Jeep Halftime Report is on the way. Coming up. Wait till you see how Creighton is doing without its star today. Plus, we'll get you set for quite possibly the most unique coaching matchup in the history of college basketball. Not a typical start for West Virginia, Danny.
Not at all. The majority of their points have come outside of the paint. I thought Culver would be a little bit more dominant, but they're giving him a lot of attention down there, and Texas started out the game attacking the paint.
We will see you, Mark and Tim, coming up in the half.
KC, Danny, thanks. Away from the paint, Texas, their three-point shooting. Andrew Jones is 2 for 4. Everybody else on the team a combined 0 for 7. So here is Culver. Guarded there by Greg Brown, shoots over him. Tipped and kept alive by Emmett Matthews. He'll shoot from the corner.
One thing, the length of Texas giving Culver a little bit of a problem down low. They're staying behind him, and here, running back.
Kai Jones, second impressive slam for him here in the first half. 20 points in the paint for Texas of their 33 overall.
Texas is fast, but West Virginia has to match that intensity in transition. Their transition defense that time not at 100 miles an hour like Texas's offense.
Culver took a moment to collect it, goes to the left hand.
Now they're going to Culver a little bit too soon, probably. The Texas defense is set, and they know where he is. They have to get him a little bit more on ball reversal on the move.
Ramey, nice pass, found Greg Brown. He lost to Brown, hanging on the rim, making sure they clear from underneath him. Two minutes to go, first half. Texas can tie it here with this shot. Or I should say, West Virginia could add to the lead with that missed shot from Miles McBride. And now Texas can tie it or take the lead. Ramey's pass behind Cunningham, who was cutting to the basket.
Well, this is an emphasis of Texas, and you'll see how fast they get the ball off the court with limited dribbling. And this is just flying. A great outlet all the way to half court. And again, one bounce, a pass to the trailer. West Virginia not aware. And that is very difficult to defend, but you've got to be flying back and be very aware. Get everybody to the paint, protect, and then move out to the perimeter.
Matthews, little Euro step drive and score.
A lot of one-on-one talent on this floor, Mark Neely. It's just very difficult to defend these guys in an open floor. There's a lot of guys that want to get to the rim and can get to the rim.
Jones, with that bucket, goes over 1,000 career points.
Very easily as well. Just they knew exactly where he was on the perimeter. They gave the help and kicked it back out, and then another three.
Emmett Matthews answers for West Virginia. Here's a drive by Ramey. Second effort by Ham won't fall. McBride catch and shoot three. Out of bounds, staying with the Mountaineers.
Watch here. Great recognition by Ramey, understanding that on the weak side, his partner, his longtime partner, can knock it in.
Andrew Jones 3 of 5 in three-point shooting here in the half. The rest of his teammates 0 for 7. But Andrew Jones over 1,000 career points, playing in his 86th career game. Culver on Ham. He stepped on the baseline. 9 turnovers for the Mountaineers in the first half.
Well, that's why Royce Ham is an important piece coming in off the bench. It just gives Shaka Smart a nice backup big who can come in and do that. Just body up, build the wall. Culver getting a little frustrated here at the end of the first half.
Ham, who missed the last couple of games, was unavailable. Same with Kamaka Hepa. They're both here today, as is Jace Febris. Hepa or Febris have not appeared in the game, but are in uniform and available. And Febris trying to come back from left knee surgery. Ramey elects to shoot the long two and is short with it. Cunningham got the rebound and is fouled on the floor. The national championship game presented by AT&T is Alabama and Ohio State. That's Monday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We'll have you covered from every platform, TV, radio, digital, and if some new form of media is invented between now and game time, we'll have it on that as well.
This game will be in the 40s, just like this game. Halftime.
A lot of points. I think you're going to be right about that.
There's just too many weapons on both sides.
Cunningham misses the front end.
This is
1-1. That was just his third free throw of the season, by the way.
Won't be our grandfather's Ohio State, Alabama with Bear Bryant and Woody Hayes.
No, it's not going to be Woody and Bear.
14-10.
Near's looking to hold it for the final shot. Ham comes out defensively. Sherman's had a great first half off the bench. He's going to shoot a long three and not draw iron. And Texas comes up empty, or I should say Texas holds, and they trail it by 4 at the half on the road in Morgantown. Now time for the Jeep halftime report. Kevin Connors, Danny Manning, fellas.
All right, Mark, 6 of 12 from behind the arc in that first 20 minutes for West Virginia. Part of the reason why they lead at the break. Welcome into the Jeep Halftime Report alongside Naismith, Player of the Year, Danny Manning, Kevin Connors here in studio on a great Saturday in college basketball. Let's get you caught up on what's going on.
Well, Andrew Jones for Texas. We mentioned him at the top of the show. Of course, it was 3 years ago exactly today when Shaka notified the rest of his team that Andrew was dealing with leukemia. Of course, he's healthy now. That's great. He came in 10 points shy of 1,000 in his career, and he took care of that in the first half with 11 points.
Courtney Ramey are two guys that have to continue to be aggressive, but they're going to get Matt Coleman going as well.
Culver on Sims. Sims played 9 minutes of the first half, had a couple of fouls, and second chance points there for Jalen Bridges.
Well, Hugs is really happy with Bridges. Now he's obviously going to get a lot more minutes with Shibwe leaving the program, and he's a guy that's going to continue to make things happen at that forward spot opposite Derek Culver.
Coleman. Brown couldn't get to the rim, but was able to stretch out and just flip it in. That's 7 points for the freshman Greg Brown. Sims, as a result of the 2 fouls in the 9 minutes, he only had 1 shot attempt in the first half for Texas, but has been shooting very well the last several games. Here's Matthews' big rainbow. He went out of bounds. Antonio Petty looking at it. And Harry Pollard says that's going to stay with Texas, but Bob Huggins not so sure. Shooting numbers have been outstanding the last couple of games for Jericho Sims. Against Kansas, he was 5 of 6 from the field. And then on Tuesday night against Iowa State was 4 of 5.
Well, Shaka's just really happy with Jericho Sims' development, not only as a guy that can make plays around the basket, but his defensive versatility. Basically can guard 1 through 5, and you saw that in the Kansas game where they did a lot of switching, and he got out and played guys on the perimeter with ease, got down in the stance like a guard.
Ramey, second chance, he's fouled. 9 points for Courtney Ramey in the first half. He had 5 assists.
The way this game started out, Texas was just easily getting to the rim on every possession the first 6-7 minutes of the game, and then West Virginia adjusted their defense, and it's tough to defend Texas because they have balanced scoring, and you can't go in and say we're going to just stop Coleman and Ramey, and then Jones makes you pay like he did in the Iowa State game the other night.
Free throws for Ramey make this a 2-point game. And Texas comes in with 5 straight wins. 3-0 in conference play, their best conference start since the 2010-11 season when they started 11-0. Jericho Sims just picked up his 3rd foul. He is the first player on either side to reach 3, and it comes inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. There's that balance attack today for Texas, led by Ramey and Jones, each with 11.
See what Bob Huggins
come out, by the way.
Royce Ham will be charged with Garvin Culver down low. You go right to him.
He's able to push Culver out about 10 feet from the rim, and he's off the mark with it. It's been a while since Texas has had the lead. They had an early 5-point lead today. Greg Brown 3, tip, and a rebound for Culver, his 9th.
Not sure Shaka Smart liked that shot from Brown. He probably a little too quick in the offense.
McNeil hit a couple of threes early, misses there, but they leave Matthews wide open. No third chance after a rebound from Ramey. Courtney Ramey, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists early in the second half.
Good job by McNeil getting in a stance, taking away the rim. Now he finds a way, but good help.
Enough for Jones to get the 3 off. 10th rebound for Derek Culver, who's nearing another double-double. He's the Big 12 leader in that department, looking for Matthews, who touched it last. They look at each other and going to keep it with West Virginia. Well, Bob Huggins' team leads by 2, Tim. They were just Texas 1 for 7 in this half, though.
I think Texas is settling a little bit too much now, Mark. The last couple of possessions, I think Shock is unhappy with their execution. A little bit too much dribbling, a little too much one-on-one, and the one-on-one was working early, but now West Virginia has adjusted. They've got to get better ball and player movement.
Big first half for Sherman off the bench. He's going to step back 3 it. Front rim miss. Culver got a hand on it, going to the sideline. Antonio Petty says it's going to stay with West Virginia.
That time, Kai Jones out on the perimeter. Just great contest on Sherman, but this is what you're talking about with 2 top 14 teams. Do they want it or what?
Quiet first half for McBride. Went 1 for 4 from the field. His first shot of the second half is not there. Culver, the one-arm, one-hand rebound, and fights his way up and in.
Again, you need the second or third defender to put a body on that guy. Almost impossible to block out.
Double-double for Culver. 10 points, 11 rebounds. His 7th double-double of the season. He easily leads the Big 12 in that department this year.
Stiff arm down low. Little Derrick Henry. Just get out of my way. This is my world. You're just trying to live in it. No, thank you.
Derek Culver certainly has made a big jump this year, sophomore to his junior year. You see he's tops in the Big 12. There is where he is amongst others around the nation.
The thing about him, Mark, is that he's very unselfish as well. When he feels that double down low, he's going to try to turn and pitch and find the open man.
Here's Culver again, driving and scoring.
And that's the other piece of his game. It's the face-up from the foul line. Take away the left, fine, I'll go right.
A natural lefty, left-handed player, but has really been using the right hand very well. Here's a Ramey drive. Nice. Kiss off the glass. Officials stop play. And that's going to take us to an official timeout as the ball had gotten loose there. 15:44 to play, second half. 4-point lead for the Mountaineers. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
B-Dub's win-win value lineup gives you more with buy one, get one free Wing Tuesdays and boneless Thursdays. Wing bundles starting at $9.99 and $3 Tall House beers. It's like finding a heads-up penny under a bag of diamonds. Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
Alabama, Ohio State, the national championship game, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
Crowned a national champion on Monday. Well, here's what caused the stoppage in play. The bucket by Ramey, and then you'll notice the ball goes through, and then he just kind of flips it off to the side. West Virginia players look at, hey, what are you doing? That actually goes as a delay of game. If he were to do that again, it would be a technical foul. So that's what stopped play to take us to the last timeout. And Miles McBride sinks a three for the first time today to give West Virginia a 7-point edge.
That's like in the old days. You're worried about a team fast breaking, like when you played Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels. You just get those thick nets where the ball sticks. They can't get it out of the net quick enough, or the old delay of game.
Rebound off the floor by Culver. He has 12 points, 12 rebounds. In 22 minutes, there's a McNeil drive, reversing and scoring.
Great recognition, Sean McNeil. Texas got overextended on the backside and very unaware that he just drove baseline with no resistance.
Got a 9-2 run here for West Virginia. They've opened up a 9-point lead, which is their largest of the game.
Just playing that screen, just kind of a soft double. I don't know what Kai Jones is doing out there on the perimeter, and 2 defenders to no defenders.
8 points for McNeil.
Well, Derek Culver just kind of puts up those numbers seemingly pretty quietly. All of a sudden you look up and he's got the double-double again. The first half, you said, well, he's just kind of quiet. They're doing a good job on him, but he's just relentless. He's every shot. It's almost like Moses Malone-like. He wants, that's my rebound. And Moses, God rest his soul, once told me, he said, tell your team that every shot's missed. And that'll get them to put the nose on the ball like he used to. And I think that's Culver's absolute mentality. He just goes for every shot.
Rebounding such a big deal for both these teams. The rebounding edge right now belonging to West Virginia, 29-23. This is the first time today we've seen any of the teams develop a little bit of breathing room.
Again,
extend the lead to 8.
Just faced up there to draw the foul, and
push on West Virginia. Jalen Bridges, it's his second. So you got Sims with 3 fouls for Texas. Emmitt Matthews has 3 fouls for West Virginia. And Matt Coleman flips it up and scores.
The first real clean look that Matt Coleman has been able to get. That time just a dribble drive from the wing and found a little space. West Virginia turning their head on the weak side, staying home on the shooters.
5 points for Coleman. 2 assists, 2 turnovers. He had only 3 turnovers in conference play in 3 games coming in. Had 2 in the first half today. A McNeil 3. He's fouled on the 3-point shot by Ramey.
Well, this is better offense for Texas. Texas has been kind of shooting quickly. The ball's been sticking on one side of the floor. And on the pick and roll, just no real resistance. They didn't show. They didn't hedge. They didn't switch.
It's Mom Devonta there on the left. Usually you'd see the entire Coleman crew here. The situation here in West Virginia, no general public fans. Friends and family are allowed in. So on the visiting side, you have some of the Colemans here. Made the trip up from Norfolk, Virginia.
Sean McNeil's played a very good overall game today for Bob Huggins, and I think he's been looking for that type of consistency. He's had a good solid year so far, but not only offensively moving the ball, making open shots, but pretty good job defensively as well on Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones, 11 points today to go over 1,000 in his career. Ramey's pass, nice defense, McBride. 3, Sherman, short with it. Rebounded in the corner by Matt Coleman, and then they try to trap him along the sideline, and they force him out of bounds.
Well, that previous defensive set for West Virginia was about as good as it gets. Well, this is the old press Virginia. Mark Neely off a rebound, set up your pressure trap, force a turnover.
Each team now with 9 turnovers with 13:20 to go. It's West Virginia by 9. Shaka Smart was very demonstrative. He called a timeout after this play. Matt Coleman really kind of ushered out by McBride. And Shaka wanted a foul on McBride. He went to Gary Pollard first. Antonio Petty, he was upset, Tim.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And this is the Shaka Smart we saw at the end of last season. A little bit more vocal, a little more feisty with his players, with the officials. I don't blame him. I think there was a little bit of a bump on Coleman. Coleman was trying to just slide up the sideline and got knocked off balance, not because he tried to find a better angle, it's because McBride pushed him.
This is just the second true road game for Texas this year. Of course, the first was a week ago in Lawrence when they won by 25, so that went well.
Oh, it's just a great backdoor play out of the timeout. Sherman just couldn't finish.
Yeah, Kai Jones couldn't finish it there. Made a nice move to get it to the rim, but is fouled underneath. Number 2 on Derek Culver.
Great bounce pass by Coleman. Always plays with his head up and just a little pop on the elbow.
Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. A must-have for Big 12 fans. Tuesday, number 6 Kansas takes on Oklahoma State at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Then the Mountaineers take on TCU on the 16th. And then Texas, Iowa State, January 20th. If you're a Big 12 fan, gotta have it. Sign up today if you haven't already at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now.
Later today, Baylor at TCU. And by the way, Mark Neely, Baylor has lost 3 straight in Fort Worth.
And that's coming up after our game here on ESPN with Dan Schulman, Fran Fraschilla. Brown pleading his case to baseline official Antonio Petty. And you hear Shaka Smart. He thought that was a foul as well.
Game's getting a little edgy.
Culver put it right over the rim. Jones with that jab step. Culver keeps an eye on him. Ramey down into the lane, the drive, and the bucket. Well, he doesn't need much of a crease.
He does, and the ball was sticking a little bit too much, and Jones made a good play just to kind of on that little dribble handoff, and West Virginia got caught a little bit flat-footed on the weak side.
It was a 9-point lead for the Mountaineers. Cut in half, down to 5. 12 minutes to go. Away from the ball. Foul on West Virginia's Jalen Bridges. Now Huggs unhappy. 12 minutes to play. Good one going on in Morgantown.
B-Dub's win-win value lineup gives you more with buy one, get one free Wing Tuesdays and boneless Thursdays. Wing bundles starting at $9.99 and $3 Tall House beers. It's like finding a heads-up penny under a bag of diamonds. Buffalo Wild Wings. Get takeout or delivery.
Alabama, Ohio State. The National Championship game, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
Can't wait for Monday to see if it's going to be Bama or Ohio State that wins the national championship. All week long, our broadcast team have been saying who they think will win, and so I've got to stay consistent with what I did earlier this week. I'm picking Alabama. Tim, what you got?
Well, I'm from Little Rhodey, so we got to go for the underdog, the little guy, or as my good friend Bobby Carpenter would say, the Ohio State University. Justin Fields, why not?
Well, I hope Justin Fields is as close to 100% healthy as possible, because I want to see a really good game.
It's going to be a great game. I think high scoring, as we said, a lot of excitement.
Ramey. Closely defended by McBride. And as the shot clock was expiring, lost it anyway. Number 4, Texas. Number 14, West Virginia. Getting our Big 12 day going. We got Baylor TCU coming up after this here on ESPN. Right now, according to Lenardi, Texas a 1 seed. Trailing by 5 on the road with 11 minutes to go in Morgantown. Clock winding down with 4 to shoot. A tough shot for Miles. McBride goes in.
Well, how do you defend that? And McBride struggled a little bit in the first half, but now, along with Sherman and McNeil, you see why those 3 guards are so dangerous. But Coleman right back at you.
And Matt Coleman, his 3rd bucket of the game, at 7 points. Back to McBride, watched by Brown. Sherman did everything but go in for him.
Texas
been great
very
for them off the bench.
Very fortunate, though. Sherman on the switch down low. Both went with the cutter, left Sherman wide open.
Osaboyan knocks down Coleman. Second personal on Osaboyan.
This is pretty much impossible to defend. A little pick and roll on the outside, and just late to the party on the closeout. Kai Jones got to get a lot closer. He's got the length to get up and contest that.
Quiet first half for Miles McBride, doing better here in half number 2, up to 10 points. It's really ended a drought for West Virginia. They'd gone a streak of about 4 minutes without a field goal prior to that. And that's a Texas foul on Jericho Sims away from the ball, and that is number 4 on Sims.
Just kind of does not get set and kind of runs into Sean McNeil. Good call.
And moving screen has been a point of emphasis. So it has not been a great day for Jericho. Bridges feeding Culver, but Kai Jones helped create that steal by getting a big paw around there to knock it away to Brown.
Well, not great spacing on that position.
3, and he is fouled by Jalen Bridges shooting that 3-point shot. Number 4 on Bridges. So right after Sims has 4, now Bridges has 4 for West Virginia.
Well, you absolutely have to respect Greg Brown from the 3, but steps right into the shooter. Not close enough on the catch.
Freshman Greg Brown, who Shaka Smart told us, I said, Shaka, when's the first time you became aware of Greg Brown? He said, well, as soon as I basically got to campus in 2015. They told us about this 8th grader in the Cedar Park area of town, whose parents both were athletes at the University of Texas. Don't forget, number 2 Baylor and TCU coming up 3 Eastern, 2 Central after we're finished in Morgantown. That Saturday showcase game presented by 5 Hour Energy. And Dan Schulman, Fran Fraschilla standing by for the call of that one.
Well, Jamie Dixon, everyone knows what a great defensive coach he is, and he's got his hands full today. 93 points per game for Baylor.
Yeah, a team that I usually think defense first, and they're averaging over 90 points on the offensive side. Long pass, Kai Jones. Here comes Texas. They're only down 2.
At points today, that's what they've done. Got out in transition, just beat West Virginia down the floor. That time, just kind of a unexpected bounce, but on the fly, all the way to the rack.
A 10-3 run for the Longhorns with 9 minutes to go. McNeil's pass is picked off. Andrew Jones brings it ahead.
Bad spacing on another possession. West Virginia, everybody tight on one side of the floor.
Tough shot from the free throw line, but Texas has now hit their last 5 shots in a row from the field and have tied it at 57.
Confidence growing for Texas. Going to the rim, in transition. Excellent defense.
Timeout, West Virginia.
In transition, defensively, activity, quick to the basketball, flying down the floor. It's like an Alabama wide receiver.
Everybody has a place to go. Everybody wants a place to be. When birds fly, they're swimming in the sky, while fish are swimming in the sea.
Kevin Connors, Danny Manning. Alabama leading Auburn by 1 minute to go. Jordan Bruner misfires, but Danny, no one puts a body on him.
He comes in, ball gets kept alive, he follows it up. Good hustle play, good energy generating behavior for his team.
Sharif Cooper eligible. He went for 26, but it's not enough as Alabama wins. Meantime, Tennessee, Texas A&M underway. The Vols so stingy defensively. Aggies haven't beaten a top 10 at home since 2008. Down 8 as we go back to Morgantown.
Kevin, Texas on an 8-0 run here. Look at this long pass from Andrew Jones. Gets his first assist of the game. All the way down court to Kai Jones. That was a pretty baseball pass from Andrew Jones. His team has tied it up while Texas has not scored in the last 2.5 minutes and hit only one of their last 9 shots. West Virginia, that is.
Tighten up the defense, but also West Virginia. Look at their spacing again. Really tight.
3, McNeil. It's a big shot for West Virginia. He was kind of breaking down there, and they get a 3 from McNeil.
Very fortunate. McNeil just made something happen out of nothing, basically, as everyone was just standing around.
3, Coleman can't answer. Matthews outlets for McBride. Sherman gets himself in the lane. Fouled by Greg Brown. There was not much happening on that last sequence for West Virginia, Tim, when McNeil pulled him out of the fire.
Oh, very stagnant. Kind of everybody overplayed on one side of the floor, and sometimes that's all you need is somebody just to break the ice. And then on the following possession, where you just saw Sherman get fouled, they did a good job of pushing the pace, pushing it up the sideline, and reversing the ball quickly, which allowed Sherman that open gap from the wing.
West Virginia had opened up a 9-point lead with just under 14 minutes to play, but over the next 5.5 minutes of game time, saw that lead disappear. It was tied at 57, but now Bob Huggins' team has gone on a 4-0 run of their own. A couple of free throws from Sherman. The lead is back to 5 for West Virginia. Coleman from 17. Sims in there playing with 4 fouls. Couldn't come up with a rebound.
Not a patient possession. Matt Coleman tried to make something happen quickly. Not a terrible shot, but a little early in the clock. Not enough ball movement.
Culver on Sims. A little help from the backside from Ham. Second chance opportunity thrown back out to McNeil. Deep 3. And that is out off West Virginia.
Well, you want to pitch it back out after an offensive rebound and try to find your three-point shooters, but McNeil was a little bit too far stretched on the perimeter.
He's 3 of 7 now in three-point shooting. Does have 14 points. Now it's Texas trying to break a little mini drought here after coming back to tie the game at 57. Andrew Jones on the dribble drive and the bucket with the left hand.
Well, that's what happens when you space the floor, skip it, make the defense shift on the weak side. You can get the ball moved quickly and attack before the defense shifts from strong side to help side.
Culver and Sims again, but Culver just lost the dribble. Might have dribbled it off his leg and out of bounds, and West Virginia has their 13th turnover.
Well, the size on that possession of Jericho Sims bothered Derek Culver a little bit, kind of pushed him off his sweet spot. That time I thought normally what he does there is just he'll turn and he'll face. That time he tried to spin quickly.
6 minutes to go in Morgantown. Texas down 3, trying to cut into that lead. Andrew Jones. Sims trying to keep it alive. Batted around. Greg Brown had it for a moment, but he's picked by McBride. Here come the Mountaineers. McBride to the rim, and that's a goaltend on Matt Coleman.
Well, McBride was bound and determined to do one thing. He was going to the hole. Not sure Coleman should have blocked that. Looked like McBride might have missed it. Kind of an off-balance left-handed shot.
Well, Coleman with a bucket to make it a 3-point game. Points in the paint, though, have heavily favored Texas, almost 2-1. McBride from 16. One and done, and kind of another quick shot there, Tim, from West Virginia.
One man, one-on-one basketball. When that happens, usually Texas takes over. But coming back the other way, West Virginia doesn't get their defense set in time to slow down Matt Coleman.
Well, Coleman has picked it up. He's up to 11 points and pulled Texas within 1. Texas trying to stay unbeaten in conference. They and Baylor the only unbeatens right now in the Big 12. 3-0. Here's Culver in a crowd with Sims and Ham, but is able to fight his way up and drop it in.
Courtney Ramey was poking around down there, and if you're going to go, you've got to go and secure that trap on the box, but they let him out of the trap and he made him pay.
And Ramey's long 3 missed. Coleman keeping it alive and flips it back to Courtney Ramey. Ramey driving to the hole. Loose ball is finally grabbed by Culver.
Shaka Smart wanted a foul. Ramey wound it up on his back.
McNeil in and out. Brown trying to pull it away from Matthews. And they called a foul on West Virginia, I believe on Taz Sherman. Well, we come to a timeout. 4 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere in this one-possession game in Morgantown. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get it done.
Find your rhythm, your happy place. Find your breaking point. Then break it. Every emergency gives you a potent blend of nutrients, so you can emerge your best with Emergency.
Kevin Connors, Danny Manning. Boston College led Virginia by as many as 7 in the first half, but boy, Kihei Clark is tough to stop.
He is. Strong square up, finishes on the other side of the rim, reverse layup, nice finish.
Virginia in front by 1. Meantime, Jared Butler and the Baylor Bears. How about 10 straight double-digit victories? We're counting you down to a tip-off against TCU. 1A to Gonzaga's number 1, Mark.
Yeah, Kevin, coming down the stretch here. Number 4, Texas. Number 14, West Virginia. 3-point lead for West Virginia. You look at this Big 12. You got Baylor and Texas, the last unbeatens. Texas has won 5 in a row overall coming into today. West Virginia, that 19-point rally in Stillwater earlier this week, has them at 2-2 in conference play.
Well, when you look at Baylor, Texas, Kansas, I definitely think West Virginia belongs in that conversation as well. And Joe Lunardi's recent bracketology, he's got those 3 Big 12 teams both as 1 and 2 seeds. But you know, the thing about this league, as you'll see it, is the road teams have done very well so far. And looking at today, Texas is hanging around, and it's really been their defense that's helped them inch back into this game. And West Virginia, again, right now, a little crowded on ball side.
And Texas just missed the front end of a 1-and-1. A drive by McBride, no good. And Texas gets it back down 3. Texas has not hit a 3 in this half. 0 for 5. In fact, they haven't hit a 3 since late in the first half. And Coleman dribbled in and got too close, and Culver just took it right away.
I think Coleman wanted to do the old throw it up over the backside and let Sims punch it home, but he could never gain control of the ball, and West Virginia did a great job of closing the door.
Sherman elects to shoot the 3. Tough shot with the shot clock winding down. And that's the only opportunity for the Mountaineers.
Both teams now tightening the screws on defense, contesting every dribble, every pass, every shot.
Ramey, they look to trap him on the sideline, and a chance to get a timeout for Texas. They'll have 1 left as the possessions become more crucial down the stretch for Shaka Smart's team. We mentioned the defense at the other end. I think that's certainly one thing, Tim, that stands out about the improvement for Texas this year is their defense.
Very well connected, 1 through 5. The experience helps because year after year you understand the concepts, what's needed. And you know, we talked about it with Shaka earlier, Mark. You know, you can't have a weak link. And if you have one weak link, the offense will find that weak link and attack it. But they are very connected. 5, they put a lot of ball pressure on with their 5. They give a lot of help, but they don't overhelp, and their length really helps as well. They have a lot of interchangeable parts with Jones and Sims at 6'11 and 6'10 can get out and guard and defend wings and guards, and that helps them because they do a lot of switching.
Texas a 1 seed according to Joe Lunardi right now. Of course, we got a lot of basketball to play, but Texas has not been a 1 seed since they went to the Final Four in 2003. That's the only time they've been a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. There's Lunardi. You got Kansas a 2, West Virginia 4, and Tech a 5 seed. On the drive, couldn't get it to fall. But Ramey will go to the line to shoot 2 here with 2:33 left.
Well, that was a tough drive by Courtney Ramey. He had the 6'7 Matthews right in his grill. He just kind of forced his way, found that little angle to get the ball over the top of Matthews' stretched arms and draw the contact.
Ramey a 78% foul shooter coming in. He's 3 of 4 from the line today and now make it 4 of 5. I remember Ramey his first couple of seasons as certainly being a guy who liked to get downhill, but not as much as he is trying to get downhill this year.
See the strength, the weight room, the ability to use both hands, and just the understanding of when to go, when to slow, what a good shot is.
His 2 free throws make this a 1-point game. Shot clock slips under 10. Matthews crossover, gets in a crowd. And he's fouled going to the rim.
Great job by Matthews. West Virginia very patient and not a lot there, but Sims, instead of attacking, just kind of backs up and swipes at him. Not sure there was a lot of contact there, though. Sims doing a very good job, though, on Culver. Culver has not been able to establish that real good low post position.
Gave the foul, by the way, to Brown, his second, which is important for Texas, because had it gone to Sims, that would have been his fifth. Free throws for Emmett Matthews. The lead is 3. Texas had an early 5-point lead today, but they have not led since it was 19-18 Longhorns, just under the 12-minute mark of the first half. A 3, no, off the hands of Sims. Brought up by McBride.
It's pretty wide open shot on the ball screen at the top. It was quick, but Coleman was open. Both defenders went with the roll man and left Coleman that easy opportunity.
And Taz Sherman turns and shoots from just beyond the free throw line and opens up a 5-point lead for West Virginia. 1.5 minutes to go.
Good offense.
Quick pass. Ramey found Coleman, who couldn't get the bucket to drop, but now he will shoot 2 free throws with 1:28 left.
A misdirection play by West Virginia, and a good job of screen the screener down low. He screens for Culver, draws that defender, just has Ramey bite on the screen just a little bit. He's got to give a little support down low until his defender can help and get to Culver, and just that little hesitation to help on the low box allowed Sherman to be open.
Coleman, one of the best free throw shooters in the Big 12. In fact, 3rd in the conference, coming in at 87%. 2 for 2 today. Mom Devana seeing very calm. Her son's a senior. She's been through this rodeo a few times. 3-point game.
Tech's going to extend the pressure, see if West Virginia can handle it. Attack, then settle down. Hugs calling a special from the bench.
A lot of dribbling from McBride. Culver facing up 15 feet from the basket. Trying to back down Sims. Lost the ball, but looking around.
Rick Crawford called a foul on the perimeter.
And that's going to be number 5 on Sims. So Antonio Petty, the baseline official, didn't make the call. It came from Rick Crawford, and Sims fouls out with just over a minute left in regulation.
Let's take a look at this. I mean, Sims, I thought, was playing pretty good defense. Culver really has nowhere to go. He puts his hands on him. That's a good call.
First time this year that Sims has fouled out of a game. Finishes with just 2 points.
That's irritating, though, Mark, as a coach, when the official right in front of the play passes on the call, and the trail official, the official farthest from the play, makes the call. But that was a good call by Rick Crawford.
And a break for Texas as Culver misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Under a minute to go. Taking it to the rim. Ramey quickly scores. It's a 1-point game. Jerry Crawford has stopped play with 54 seconds to go. And he's going to go to the monitor with Antonio Petty.
What they did on this play, Mark, is they just ran a clear out. I mean, everybody is on the weak side of the floor, and it allowed Ramey that open opportunity. Everybody had their head turned. There's no screen at all. He just puts his head down, gets to the rim. Now,
well, what they're looking at is to see the clock. It should stop after the bucket under a minute. And it kept going, and that's why Jerry Pollard stopped play. So going to put some time back on to 55.6 seconds. Number 4 Texas, number 14 West Virginia. Tremendous game in the Big 12 to start things off this afternoon. Got Baylor, TCU coming up next here on ESPN from Fort Worth. Mark Neely along with Tim Welsh. Great to have you along. It's been a terrific game. Texas had a 5-point lead early in the game. West Virginia's led by as many as 9 in the second half.
Just soft pressure, just enough to make West Virginia know you're there. And they've been trying to set this little screen to screener down in the box, isolate Culver, and then have a shooter come off on the weak side.
Sherman. Here's Matthews. Lefty has it roll off the right side, but for a moment had his own rebound, was able to flip it to McBride to get a new shot clock at 20.
Texas guards have to get themselves involved in the rebounding, get into the paint, get in the mix.
Under 20 seconds on the game clock. McBride, that's a 2. Offensive rebound. Matthews is fouled by Brown with just under 11 seconds to go. Well, the shot clock was off. In theory, Matthews could have tried to throw that back out to eat some clock after the rebound on this miss by McBride.
He's fortunate he was fouled, or else big guy on the sideline with 890 wins would have erupted, because the smart basketball move would have